Hi, welcome to Book Break. My name is Gina, and I'm a Readers and Information Services librarian. And I'm really excited to bring you our book break today because I'm not only a librarian, I'm also a musician. So I really can't wait to show you some music fiction and nonfiction for you to enjoy this week. So our first book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Hands down, this was my favorite read of last summer. It's such a great poolside or beach read. The main character, Daisy, is always writing music by the pool. It's an awesome summer book. So this is set in LA in the 1970s, and it follows a young girl named Daisy, who's a really fascinating character. She's kind of very beautiful. People are drawn to her. She's kind of this ethereal hippie person. And she's dancing barefoot at a nightclub and happens to get discovered by a producer and is made the lead singer of this established band called The Six. And this book is told in interview style. So if you've ever watched a VH1 Behind the Music where they interview band members and cast members about a band's final days, that's the style that this is told in, and it makes it really fast-paced. I could not stop turning the pages. It's also so well done that I had to look up if The Six was a real band because it felt so realistic to me. My favorite part of the book was the characters. Daisy is just a really interesting person, and I was kind of fascinated to see what her journey was. And her relationship with the lead guitarist, Billy Dunn, provides a lot of tension for the book, which is really great. And I also thought the author did a really good job of the 1970s setting. It was so vivid, and I felt like it was there. So if you're looking for a fast-paced, fun read, I definitely recommend Daisy Jones and the Six. The second book that I want to recommend is a little more on the heartwarming side. So if you're a Hallmark movie fan, if you've read stuff by Frederick Bachman and really like that, this is going to be more up your alley. So this is set in 1980s London, specifically 1988, and it follows our main character, Frank. He owns a vinyl shop that sells all sorts of music. Everything from classical to punk to jazz to blues, and he loves recommending music. He's so passionate about it, and he loves his life, he loves his job. One day, his world is turned upside down when a woman named Ilsa faints outside his shop, and they develop a friendship, and he starts teaching her about music, and she starts kind of chipping away at his hard exterior to help him heal from some wounds. If you think that sounds a little predictable, right, kind of your typical heartwarming book, there are some surprises in it. So it may not go exactly the way you expect if you think that sounds a little too predictable. One thing I really enjoyed was I thought it was a great homage to 80s music. So if you are a fan of 80s music, I think that you will enjoy some of the fun little tidbits in there. And if you don't really know a lot about 80s music, that's okay. It's not going to stop your enjoyment of the book. If you do enjoy the music, the author includes a really awesome little bonus playlist at the end where you can check out some of the songs that are mentioned in the book, which I, of course, did. I loved it. Okay. And our last book is a nonfiction music book. There are so many great musical memoirs out right now. I had such a hard time picking. So there's Jessica Simpson's book, Open Book, which is about the early 2000s music scene. There's Elton John's memoir, Me. But ultimately, I went with Julie Andrews, which is, of course, a good choice. So this is actually the second part of her two-book memoir series. So you're probably saying, Gina, why are you recommending the second book? Shouldn't I read the first book first? You can definitely read the first book first. So the first book in this series is called Home, and it's set during her early years. So think 1930s and 1940s London. She's beginning her theater career. So it's a really fascinating historical look at the theater scene during the war. Very interesting. I really loved it. But this book, it just spoke to me more. I found it just so interesting. So first of all, the first chapter of this book, Homework, tells you what happens during the first book, Home. So you essentially get a summary of her childhood years, and it catches you up on all the important people and everything that went on. So you're all caught up. Great. This book focuses more on her in her, I think, late 20s, early 30s, and then into her 40s as she's in Hollywood in the 1950s and 60s and 70s. And so we get the behind the scenes look at some of my favorite movies, Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music. We get some information on her as a mother and her second marriage to Blake Edwards. All of it is very fascinating. I think the best part about this memoir was that it was actually very inspirational. She has been through a lot of hard times that I had no idea. Her childhood was very rough. Her father was an alcoholic. I didn't realize that she supported her family for years. And even after she had, made it and people were recognizing her in Mary Poppins, she still had a lot of family struggles. So her positivity through it all was so inspiring, and I loved it. And bonus, if you choose to look at the audiobook or e-audiobook, Julie Andrews herself reads it, and her voice is just delightful. And it was overall a very enjoyable book. So that's it for our book break this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you check these music books out in one of our many ebook services. And if none of these appealed to you, that's okay. We have other music books as well. So check out Cloud Library, check out Overdrive, check out Hoopla. Hopefully you can find something you like, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.